And so in the last lesson, we were able to see how we could easily put a breakpoint inside of Visual Studio and step through the code. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is create a compile error inside of the code. So I'm just going to create a syntax error here, put some gobbledygook, right? I'm going to hit save, and now when I go over here to Unity, you'll see it has an error down here, and it has a couple of errors up here as well. Hey, unexpected symbol, parsing error. So I can double click on this, and you'll see it takes me right here to line number 9. So if you notice, the first error I have is on line 9, so line 9 and column 9, and it has, hey, I have an unexpected symbol here. And that's because, we just have a syntax error here. This doesn't mean anything. So it saw this, but then it saw this closing. It's like, I would have expected maybe an equal sign, maybe this is a variable name, like I don't know what this is, but I don't know what to do. So real easily, we're able to double click inside of Unity and quickly go to Visual Studio and see where our problem is. Okay. Now the other thing I could do in here is, instead of just simply saving and going to Unity and waiting for the error, I can actually hit like Control Shift and B to build in Visual Studio, and right away it tells me what my real problem is, which is, hey, you're missing a semicolon, right? So rather than kind of having this one error that's saying, hey, I don't know, I'm seeing a brace here and I don't know what it is, Visual Studio is a little bit smarter, and it says, my problem is you don't have a semicolon here. And of course I could put a semicolon there, hit Control Shift B again, now it's like, hey, I don't know what this name is, right? So I could come in here and say var, Control Shift B. Now it says, hey, if you're going to do a var, I need to know what it is. Because I can come in here and say, maybe it's a string, right? Control Shift B, and now it builds. I can come back over here to Unity, and now we'll see it builds. Now it gives me this warning that says, hey, you're using a variable and it's not declared. And in fact, Visual Studio gave me that same warning here, right? So it actually gave me the same warning of, you declared this variable but you didn't use it, right? So we could even make that go away if we wanted to, is, dummy data. Control S to save that, or I can hit Control Shift B, and we see we don't have any. We do have another error. Another warning. This warning says, okay, now you used it, or now you've assigned data, but it's still not used anywhere, right? So again, we could actually come in here and say debug.log some data plus whatever this. There you go, that guy there. So I can actually put in that dummy variable and print out the data. And now when I hit Control Shift B, we don't have any warnings or errors. We go back over here to Unity, and it'll recompile itself, and we see that we don't have any errors. I'm going to hit clear here. We hit run, and now it's going to debug that dummy data value. Okay. So obviously that's a super simple example, but the whole point here is that we can get really good logic by building our project. Again, I was using the shortcut of Control Shift B, but you can just click up here on the build and say build solution, and that'll do it as well. Okay, so build and build solution will do it as well. Or I can right click over here on the solution explorer and say right click and say build solution. You see where it says Control Shift B, right? So there's a shortcut.